Don't look for coaching. Stop looking for leadership coaching. Stop looking for leadership development, traditional training. It doesn't stick. What makes us uniquely different is this, that intersection of behavioral science and systems development. That's my background as a chief product officer, and Greg Bateman, my business partner and ex-professional rugby player. We've brought together those two worlds, behavioral systems and high performance. And what we have is a ritual operating system methodology. We coach you in a system. If you're the leader of a 50 to 250 person business, that's exactly the sweet spot that we work with. And our systems can be flowed right the way through your business. But we start with you, the leader, or your leadership team. Communication clarity is the biggest problem with any business. The fact that information is delivered but not understood. People don't hear what you say. People act on what they thought you meant. And without the correct approaches to clarity of information and how that flows through the business, there is huge amounts of inefficiency in your business. This leads to things like poor confidence in facing into tough conversations. It happens in so many businesses, whether that's with the client environments, pushing back on clients and protecting your teams, or whether that's inter-department. Those tough conversations are not being had. And because of that, inefficiency is bled into the business. Feedback culture. This is a burning passion of mine. Feedback is fuel for growth, and yet feedback culture is inconsistent in so many businesses. Feedback is fuel for growth. It is not a performance critique. Decision making in the face of change. Trust is a foundation for behaviors. It's very hard in hybrid environments. We help with that. So many teams are focused on their task. It means it's hard for them to prioritize. They don't have the context. This means that leaders and managers all bottleneck. Many people in your business, no doubt, have been promoted, maybe yourself as a leader, and you haven't had formal people management training. It's hard. We don't all have that empathy that we need to be able to connect with our team members. Environment design solves that. How do you hold people to account? How is your performance management working? We can help with all of these problems. We've been working with hundreds of team members and leaders and managers. We do huge amounts of discovery with all of our clients. We have got a treasure trove of information of what it feels like to be in a business where there is inconsistency. In the absence of information, people fill it with the worst. This isn't about finger pointing. Negative bias is our base. That is how we operate. What your team need and what you need is positive intent. You need to install an assumption of positive intent, because otherwise the critique starts, and the critique starts before solutions are found. So genuine curiosity and positive intent is needed. Context is so vital. How can we expect team members to prioritize if they don't have the context? If I asked everyone in your business, are they prepared to ask that stupid question? I can guarantee you that 80% of them or 75% of them will say, I'm not able to ask that in the meeting. This is a major issue with many leaders and managers. We help you lead and face into those tough conversations with confidence and consistency. Overwhelm is a massive problem in the businesses that we work with, and we help leaders to manage that. Whichever of those problems resonated, what cost would you put on it per year? I say this because sometimes training and coaching is seen as a nice to have. What we do, the systems that we implement, are not nice to have. They are essential, because we've measured, and we have measurement systems that we use. We have measured for every 100 employees, the cost of some of these challenges is equal to or more than £500,000 per year. Let that sink in. That is not including the opportunity cost that's missed. This is down to rumination. This is down to miscommunication. This is down to misunderstanding, the operational drag that is created when you don't have efficient ways of working. We help you solve those efficient ways of working with our operating system. How many times this year should something have been said but it wasn't? Just pause and answer that question with a percentage. That is a ripple. That is a moment of inefficiency that ripples out into the business, becomes more and more of a problem because it wasn't addressed at the right time. Have you got your percentage? Okay, have a look at that. We have run this survey with hundreds and hundreds of leaders, managers, and team members. Look at that. That's 100%, but so many times, 53%. That could have been an idea. It could have been a challenge. It could have been a question. Every moment that that's happening is costing your business. That's the 500,000. That's the £500,000 that's being wasted. That is why the system that we bring to you is an essential system, because every moment of inconsistency is costing your business. Consistency. If we could help you with consistency, because let's face it, you'll have pockets of best practice, whether it's in the management, whether it's in the feedback culture, whether it's in the clarity of communication, but you will have inconsistency. What if we could just make it consistent? What if we could just bring the bar across the board? What about that? What if that started happening in 6 weeks with yourself or with your leadership team? Well, that's exactly what we do. We, on average, are hitting 80% increase in everything that has been asked of us by the leaders and the managers that we work with. We are shifting that by 80%, whether that's about focus, whether that's about trust, whether that's about avoiding wasted effort. We are shifting the numbers that the leadership and the managers are looking for, and we do it in 6 weeks. Now, take a look at this slide. On the right-hand side, you'll see the typical industry approach: behavior change, personality assessment, character strength, personality scoring. Does the leader possess the capability? What are we going to do now? We don't waste your time giving you a psychometric profile. We look at the environments that you're in. We look at the ways in which you work, the meetings that you have, and then we do some behavioral gap analysis, and we start building an operating system rapidly with you over a 6-week period. So from week 1, you start getting results. We get great results. We have lots of reviews. We can talk to you about case studies. And I hope if you would like to continue the conversation, we can discuss how we can support you. This is a pressure tested system. This has been built in market. Thousands of hours of research. We have a book that is being written about rituals at the moment. Everything that has gone into this system means that you don't have to go through that work. We will work off this base system and co-create your own operating system so that you don't need to put the hours in, because we've done this. 44 key pinch points where all of those moments of inefficiency happen. We can help solve those for you. Those ritual levers are used in between the spheres of leadership. This is part of the underpinning and the science behind the system that we will help coach you in so that you can improve your leadership and the leadership performance of your team. It takes us 6 weeks. We start with discovery. We use a leadership canvas. Either if it's for yourself, we work with you directly. This is probably the only session that we run that's a bit like a coaching session typically. We have a canvas. We work out your blind spots. We work with you. It's a very cathartic session. You'll get a lot out of that session: a completed leadership canvas and a diagnosis and a plan for the next 5 weeks. And in those 5 weeks, what we do with you is we use rituals from our proven base, things that work already. We will give you those directly. You could use them as is if you wanted to implement them and start seeing results with your leadership or with your leadership team. But what we do each week is we co-create each of those rituals. We make sure that they fit your environment, they fit your people, they fit your language, and you end up with a personalized operating system at the end of that 6 weeks. We're a product business. Ultimately, you're getting a product here. I am a chief product officer. That is my background. We build personalized products, but we do it off a base that is proven. Okay, it works because it's about transformation, not information. It works because it's from a proven base with thousands of hours of research and built in market, but it's customized into your environment. It's not generic, and it's a repeatable system. This is why it's so different to coaching. This is a system that you can pass down into your business. I'm not going to read these. We have had great feedback from our leaders that we work with. We've had great feedback from the team members that we work with. The next step is your step. It's down to you now to decide, do you want to fix it? Are you looking for transformation? Are you looking for a system that can help you with that transformation? Because if you are, take the next step. Get in touch with us. Let's talk about exactly what it is that you want to fix. Let's help you fix it fast in 6 weeks. Look forward to speaking with you further.